we go. It's the AC Chat and Rap Show. Very excited to have with me a fantastic sailor who I have so much confidence in. We're going to announce our campaign for the 37th America's Cup today. Thank news! It is Tommy Spithill to talk about a little bit of his insight to the America's Cup. Hopefully we'll also meet our adventurer who's based in New Zealand. It's the AC Chat and Rap Show. Welcome everybody. Yes, hopefully we will meet our adventurer. I'm just standing by to hear from her as she's in the viaduct right now. So hopefully we can grab her online before the end of the show just to hear a little bit about her and what she will be doing for us during this amazing 36th edition of the America's Cup. But at the moment, it's all about the Prada Cup. There's been a lot of chat on my Facebook pages, as you know, which has led to some serious polling as well. If you haven't voted yet, guys, I really encourage you to do so. And from these polls as well, I know that my good friend and I have really decided that we're passionate about displacement sailing. And I'm going to bring him up on screen now. Thomas Spithill. I'm so excited to be going forward on this campaign with you. For those who haven't heard, what's our campaign all about, Tommy?
I'm not sure, Nick. I think we're just making it up as we go, but I think we're, two-handed America's Cup back in S&S 30s, real traditional.
Yep, exactly. Displacement mode. Displacement mode, the original America double-handed, as it came out in the comments on my page, which I'm pretty excited about. We've seen some really interesting points of view in the comments, and everyone is entitled to a view. Tom, what do you think of this America's Cup? You've seen a few of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky to I think my first cup going over and being amongst it was the 2000 Cup when the Young Australia campaign was on, which was amazing. You know, I really enjoyed the viaduct with all the teams there and the dock outs and everything like that. It was quite an experience, and the same in 2003. Look, it's I was worried about maybe the racing not being too close. You know, one team just clearly just seeing it and not seeing any close racing. And you know, I guess I was one of those armchair critics that was early on going, oh, I think this might happen. And thankfully, you know, got in a situation where we can't really pick who's going to win the Prada Cup. You know, we're having races where people are passing one another. There's you know, getting punished for mistakes. Just some really good sailing. And you know, for me, I struggle to sit down and watch. So you know, it's more like I was saying to you earlier about like fireworks. You know, like I love letting them off, but you know, I wouldn't sit and watch the firework display on TV. And sailing, you know, can sometimes be a little bit like that. That you know, you've got to be on board doing it. But I've been mesmerised by the TV coverage. I'm you know, wherever I am, if I'm at dinner, I'm the rude person, laptop out, or like, you know, at lunch, just with my phone, you know, my head in my phone. I'm addicted. I love it. Yeah,
I have really loved some of your stories, Tommy, when you're like at lunch with your computer out and there's a whole table and you're at lunch, and then 30 minutes later you're on a boat with the laptop out, and then 30 minutes later you're obviously back in a yacht club, laptop out. It's pretty cool how we can watch the sailing online as well, which has made it a lot easier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's great. Like I was up the Hawkesbury River and managed to get some good Wi-Fi booster, and yeah, you know, you're just sitting in a beautiful spot, just looking at you know, another part of the globe where racing's happening, and it's just coming to your phone live. So yeah, it's just really impressive, you know, because before it would be like you know, you'd hop into the spectator boat and do like a 3-hour trip out into the Iraqi Gulf to, you know, to be able to get a bit of a look at it, you know, and if you're lucky enough that your country had it, you know, viewership rights, or then, you know, you're able to watch it. So yeah, no, we take it for granted now, that's for sure.
We do take it for granted, and we're really, really lucky. And speaking of long days at the office, you had a long day today. What were you doing this morning, Tommy?
We had one of our veterans and first responders sailing days, so it was good. Yeah, quite a big crowd. We had a big bunch from St John of God Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and then just some soldier on participants as well. Good bunch of volunteers, but we had enough to have all of our Elliott fleet out there on the water, and then we had a FAR 40 with for a few people who were a little less mobile.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. There was everyone was getting amongst it. There's quite a few people with service dogs now, so
Mm.
they're actually the dogs are out sailing on the Elliots as well, which is good fun. Um, and yeah, it was these days are really rewarding.
Yeah.
For us volunteers, but they're life changing for some of the participants. And yeah, it really is such a great um, thing that we're able to sort of give back through sailing. Just very fortunate that, and we're all dying for an excuse to get out there on the water. So it's
Yeah.
we love going out there and just sharing a day on the water with them.
It is nice when you get a day on the water, and I love how passionate you are about our veterans too. And for those who don't know, Tommy actually was integral in the Invictus Games in Australia and helping to get that sailing program off the ground. But I'm just going to show everybody a little picture here because this is from last night, and maybe you'll have to tell us a little bit about this award too, Tommy. You look very spruced up there. I mean, what's going on? Looks fantastic.
Yeah, I won that was at the RSL. I won the meat raffle and I gave quite a good spec. Yeah, I was very impressed with the selection. I got the bigger meat tray and yeah,
Oh,
jubilant scenes. I
yeah.
always dress up for meat raffle, so no. Look, I was humbled. One of the veterans, a couple of the veterans nominated me for an award, and yeah, I got to go and have a few free beers, courtesy of the local mayor, and yeah, it was yeah, a nice little evening, and yeah, I was dwarfed in that room compared to some of the other achievements that of all the other awards that people were getting. Like there was some, you don't realise just how many good buggers there are out there in our community. And for me, it was just I felt a bit embarrassed to receive the award because there's so many other people that put in a lot more hours. But look, hopefully it just raises the profile of the plight of veteran sailing and first responders as well, because there's programs that pick up veterans now. Certainly not enough, but there are there. But for first responders like ambos, nurses, paramedics, um, the highway patrol, like there's barely anything for those guys. So it's really good that they've been able to jump on as well with the whole veterans programs, which is great.
Yep. So I guess you're just one of those good buggers.
No, I'm just a general weekend warrior.
You're good enough to do an America's Cup campaign with me, all right? On a
Yeah,
displacement
yeah.
hull. Now, I
I'll be
know
more,
that you haven't
I'll be
had a
more on
chance.
the short team,
Yeah, the shore team,
pouring
exactly.
beers in the corporate sort of department.
Yep. Well, someone's got to do that job too. It can be a really hard one, that's for sure.
Every
Uh,
every, every job's important.
every job is important and you've got to do them well when you've got the opportunity. So, on that note, I know because you're working so hard today, you didn't get to see the press conference and you didn't get to hear what some of the sailors had to say. So, would you like to have a look with me?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I hate listening to that Jimmy Spittle bloke. He's so arrogant and he just waffles on.
Well, do you want to
Just really
listen to
gets
him
on
last
my nerves,
then?
guy. But if we must.
If we must. All right. Well, let's start with Sir Ben Ainsley. Is that up to scratch for you?
Yeah, yeah. No,
All
big
righty.
fan.
Let's do it. Here's Sir Ben.
Ultimately, we've got to win one race, which is not as easy as it sounds. We're going up a tough competitor in Lunar Racer Challenge. The forecast is good. We've got medium to strong winds for both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a great fight. We're really looking forward to it. Our Lunar Racer are a top outfit. They sail the boat well. Jimmy and Keko driving and doing the tactics. They're fast. They've got good boat handling. So they're going to be a really tough team to beat. We've proven we can do it in the round robins. we've got some good momentum behind the team. We've just got to keep sailing well, and if we do that, we can beat them. That would be a massive turnaround for the team from where we were 3-4 weeks ago. I'm just, again, so proud of the team for getting us where we are now, but we've still got a long way to go. Like you say, we've got to get through this next weekend, and then if we can do that, look forwards to the next rounds and beyond, and keep improving the boat and keep improving how we sail the boat.
Just keep on improving. Now I need to ask you, Tommy. I know you like putting a little bet down here and there. Did you bet on Ineos or Prada?
Yeah, well, I did. I got a little tip that they were looking pretty good prior to the round robin starting. I was told to watch this space, but yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get a bet on. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see the odds. That's for sure. It just shows with that depth of team and sailors, they were just copping a huge rinsing after the previous events. It's like, with those boats, it's maybe a couple of small tweaks, a bit more confidence in their systems, and then, yeah, wow, what a performance.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done well so far. And as Ben said, just one more race, because for those who haven't seen, I posted it yesterday, and we had a bit of a chat about it in our live show yesterday. Because of New York Yacht Club being out, there's no opportunity for them to force a loss on Ineos Team UK. So it really does come down to tomorrow as to who progresses first, so to speak. But I mean, if you go on first, it just means more time and development. And I know you've been behind the scenes a bit, and I guess time is money. So yeah, it's important. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, it's I guess it's a compromise between just how of wanting that extra time on the water racing against another team. It'll be interesting to see if they go out and train with Team New Zealand or what have you in that. But prior to the finals, I'm not sure what if there's any restrictions around that, but it seems that they've been getting quite a good relationship, the two teams there.
Yeah. My sources tell me that they were actually out today training, and that Emirates may have had a different set of foils on. So I've heard a few things. So yeah, it does look like they've formed a little bit of a partnership, and I've heard a few whispers of other things too. So I guess we'll have to see how that eventuates. But why do you think they've made such an improvement? Just the trust in their systems?
Yeah, look, I think so, and it just comes down to time on the water. All of a sudden, we saw that in the San Francisco Cup. It can look like you've got an absolute dog of a boat, and then a couple of tweaks, then you're a hero. Like as James said, you're a rooster one day and a feather dust to the next. Like it's just that like it's cool how you can all of a sudden just get 3 or 4 extra knots. Like it's such a massive gain just by a whole bunch of little things, whether it's the control of the wing systems, or it's the little bit of tweaking with the foils, or it's the whole foil control system. So yeah, it's a lot of people have been saying that they've been sandbagging or what have you. Like it's
one of our polls.
Be pretty impressive today if they have the luxury to be able to do that. Like I'm sure no one likes going out there and getting walloped. You'd have to be a pretty pretty special type of person to sit back and sandbag and not unleash the beast.
Yeah, and I don't think Ben Ainsley as a person has that in him. I mean, he doesn't like losing any races, and I know somebody else who's like that too. But just as you mentioning it, Tommy, I thought that I would bring this up on screen because it's a very important part of our America's Cup is the AC chat and rap polls. So as we've spoken about, should the America's Cup be sailed on foiling boats? Let's look at the results actually while we're here. So we've had 370 people vote. At the moment, it's 72% to yes, they should be sailed on foiling boats. Were Ineos Team UK sandbagging? 21% say yes, and 283 people, which is 79%, say no. And the next one, Who will win the round robin series for the Prada Cup Challenger Series? And at the moment, 267 people say Ineos Team UK. So there you go. But that said, as you just said, things can change so quickly. And it sounds familiar to what I heard today from someone.
We're going to win a race. That'd be fantastic. I mean, that's the goal of the America's Cup, is to get fast and win races. And that's what we're putting all our time and energy into for tomorrow. We don't have to think about the whole weekend. All we've got to focus on, and what we are focusing on, is tomorrow. And that is to go out there, execute, and get a win under our belt. Yeah, look, I mean, the results do the talking, don't they? So you have to really take your hat off to the British. Never be surprised in the America's Cup, because change can happen real quick. I mean, we only have to look at the Christmas Cup, where the team's stacked and where all the experts were predicting and the bookies. Now look at it. How much has that changed? I'd say it's completely been flipped. So, yeah, never be surprised. Things can change real quick in the America's Cup. Tomorrow, all the focus is on one thing, and that's going out there and winning. Well, a lot. I mean, it's so difficult to go through them all, you know. There's a lot of actual, physical hardware that you can see. There's been some changes, but there's just a continuous development of all the software and all of the systems that is under the bonnet of the machine. So, yeah, it's just a continuation. It never stops, and it's something that'll hopefully just keep going all the way through to the end. Oh, I can't wait. I mean, look, I've had some great racing over the years with Ben and some of the guys that are on his team. I mean, tomorrow, Saturday, Course C in the stadium. It doesn't get any better than that. It'd be good to see you out there with your Italian flag, which I know you'll be waving.
Do you have an Italian flag, Tommy? Just wondering. Asking for a friend.
No, I don't. But Mum and Dad have got an Italian flag out the James's place here in Monavale.
Awesome.
And I ate Italian last night actually as well. So really supporting the Italian community.
Yeah, that's really important news.
It.
I think we really needed to know that, and we do need to gain a bit of weight if we are going to be a double-handed crew as well. I think that's a seriously important part of our diet and our preparation, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and wine also. So, yeah, we heard there from Jimmy on how fast things can change, but it is a must-win for him tomorrow to go through to the finals of the Prada Cup. They do have another shot. Next weekend, the semi-finals start. I was talking to Tommy off air just before we started. New York Yacht Club, after their capsize, it's sounding like they're going to be back on the water on Wednesday. Or even Tuesday. They have to declare on Wednesday the yacht that they will be using. So, I mean, did you think they'd be able to do that, Tommy?
Look, I thought, to be honest, yes. I mean, you're in the best spot in the world to have that sort of issue, aren't you? Really, to have to rely on, the best boat builders in the world and the technology and the tooling and everything to help get them back on the water. If you're somewhere else in the world, I'm sure you'd be in a lot more. I think the fact too that I'm there, the boat building, and there's a whole bunch of people wanting, jumping at the bit to get in there and help out. I thought. I actually thought that they would be able to do like a superhuman effort. There's probably people just 24 hours around the clock just working in shifts and going for it. So I think the boat itself will be, I think, structurally sound. It's just trying to buy them enough time to then get out there and get rid of any bugs in the system and try and calibrate everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I've got two more interviews to go, one with Giles and one with Bruno. So I'm sorry, one with Bruni, not Bruno. We were talking about Bruno who was running the press releases. One with Bruni and one with Giles. He's pretty funny, isn't he?
No more of James. He is, yeah. Maybe no more of James. I think it's sort of bad TV, and he doesn't look that. I don't know whether there's a health issue or what, but
yeah. I'm not sure what's happened to his hair. Is it falling out?
Maybe nerves has gotten to his neck. Yeah, I did notice that. I'm hoping I don't have that gene. He has. Yeah.
Definitely lost some hair.
What have you? Just not looking after himself, not eating right, and looking after his body. I try and mentor him a little bit there, and anyway.
Oh well,
Only put in.
sometimes you can't help them.
That's right.
Exactly.
But you just got to keep trying.
You just got to keep trying. So somebody who I thought might have made him a bit stressed is this gentleman, Mr. Giles. Cheers to Friday, by the way, everybody.
Well, we have to win a race against Luna Rossa, and we have to cross the start line for the ghost races that would have been against American Magic. Simple as that. Well, we're focused on trying to win over the weekend and skip the semis and make it straight through to the Prada Cup final. What that gives that team is a bit more time to nail in on the boat configuration, test anything that we may be able to bring online. So yeah, it's really a win on time, which is always something that you run out with in America's Cup racing. Well, they're an exceptionally solid team. I think you've seen in the racing that they've done before Christmas and in the first weekend of the round robin. They're fast, they race smart. Yeah, and we've got a lot of respect for them. But we've made an awful lot of gains. We're confident with how we're going, and we want to take it to them tomorrow.
Everyone wants to take it to them, no matter which team you are. That's the whole point. Something that was really interesting and spoken a lot of, and I've mentioned in my shows before this, is the grinding setup that the UK have. And I know that you were in Bermuda to see the setup on Emirates. It must really change the way that these guys are able to concentrate, Tommy, not only on the racing out on the course, but the race back to the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. You wonder what they're watching on all those screens. It's a big question that everyone's always asking of, like, oh, what are those screens for? What do they got on there? Are they watching Oprah or Dr. Phil or something? But I think it's really, really cool to see everyone's interpretation of the rule and just come up with their own configurations. And they're just unique ideas. And all of a sudden, like before, we're just tracing the setup with the grinders and everything about their boat before, and then now we're like, oh, it's genius. Now they're winning races. Everyone's like, oh, the boat looks amazing. That skeg and everything on the boats. I think it's funny how, like, all of a sudden when you're winning races, everything you then do or that's different to everyone else is now considered genius.
So that's all we have to do is actually do well with the crazy things we do, Tommy. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And speaking of crazy and passion, and it's actually interesting, this interview with Francesco, I think it's the first interview I've ever seen with him where he doesn't smile. He's actually quite a happy person. And so maybe this is quite telling on the pressure that Luna Rossa is under at the moment. I couldn't believe when I saw this interview come through how serious he is, especially when you hear some of the comms on board, how happy they are or how sad they are, or they're quite emotional, I think. And so they're getting them to focus and to actually get locked in might be something as well. But just look how serious he is in this little interview.
We have to win. Is only one answer there. We need to think about tomorrow as an important race. We want to win. We want to win tomorrow and Sunday. And we will try everything. I think the boat is been upgraded and is going faster than before. I'm sure the English have done the same, and it's a matter of seeing who has done the biggest step. I think it's important to go straight to the finals because you are buying time. You will have more time for longer upgrades, and will give a little bit more time to settle things. But at the same time, it's not a tragedy if you don't do it because you will have more racing time. So it's important to get to the final. That's the most important thing, I guess. I think that we had a lot of time to watch videos and analyze their decision. I think the great thing also is to hear their comms on board, which is a luxury we have after racing. And analyzing all their strategies is very important for us because we have to plan according to that. I think they're strong a little bit everywhere. I think the performance of the boats are very similar It's been interesting to see how very different design can end up going pretty much the same speed. And so it's a full race. We have to just race better than them. Start and tactics and all these aspects will have a big impact.
Is that not the most serious you've ever seen him?
Yeah,
really confused.
Oh, Bruni's a legend. I think he seems like in the zone.
He's
You know,
so
he's,
in the zone.
he's
He's
red
so
colour.
serious.
Yeah.
I must win the race. I'm like, far
Yeah.
out. He's on a mission.
Yeah, no, Bruni, he's the man. He put in a very impressive performance in the Mount Bay Sailing Club bar, which was after the Moth Worlds, which he earned my respect there, and he already had it, but really stepped up a notch in my book.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's interesting, like as Bruni was saying, like being able to listen to all the different comms on board the boats and figure out, of like writing down exactly what each person's saying on each boat and marrying it up against your boat and figuring out if you've got too much chat, not enough chat, or if it's the right stuff that you want to hear, if it's specific enough. That's a really cool thing teams never had before. You didn't know what they were talking about on board. Were they as laid back? Were they as intense as you? Or
100%.
I think it's quite cool.
It is incredibly cool, and they all have their different styles, and it doesn't mean that it does or doesn't work. I mean, we all have different styles of communicating. And speaking of which, Josh Torpey has said, my goodness, Thomas Spithill has so many secrets behind that beard. And when you're sitting there, Tommy, you look a little bit like a puppet. You can just see about this. So yeah, a shout out to Josh Torpey. Josh Torpey. There's a whole bunch of other people watching and saying that you should have a Red Bull, and also that you're a humble bugger.
I've got a Captain Morgan instead.
Captain Morgan instead. I love it.
Thought I'd go with a bit of a nautical theme for today's show.
Fantastic. And speaking of Captain Morgan, I have this interview here ready to go when I might have run into you on a dock after you'd been at the Gosling's bar, speaking of rum. And today, your favourite person in the America's Cup may have actually said these exact words in the press conference, which is what made me think of it. And if you haven't seen the press conference, it's on our website. You can see it there in full, so not just the little bits. So let's have a little bit of a look at this interview with yours truly, Thomas Spithill, my partner for the 37th America's Cup, which some people are also saying on Facebook we should do on the wing sail together, like two up. Have I lost you, Tommy? I might have. You there? His signal's got a bit funny. Your signal's got a bit funny. I'll put this interview on, and maybe if you close out and come back in again while we're doing that. Here we go. This is in Bermuda with my partner in crime. And today they were rocking asymmetric foils, which I thought yesterday and then confirmed today. Make sure you check out my interview with Ian Murray. And I know that they've also made quite a bit of a change to their weight. We've heard about that. But I didn't know that maybe they'd made a change to their helmsman. Just kidding. I didn't get a chance to catch up with Jimmy again today, but then I caught this poor sod walking along the dock, and he sounded very, very, very like somebody I've heard before. So Tommy, your brother's not been cool enough to talk to me in the mix zone for the last 3 race days now. Feeling a bit hurt.
No, I have to apologise for him, Nick. His attitude's getting the better of him, but no. I'm sure it's the boys have had plenty on the last couple of days, so it certainly hasn't been through rudeness that he's missed you. It's been through that they've actually been out in the water after racing in the afternoon, testing new rudders, new boards, so he actually asked me to pass on his apologies. Oh, well, that's really good to know because, we're cheering for everybody here. We're cheering for good racing. Well, mate, I'll tell you, I loved it. At the end of the day, I mean, it's certainly not enjoyable to see us trail them around the course, but to see each boat actually being in, every minute it count. I mean, geez, that's what it's about. I've been to Valencia, I've been to Auckland, where you can just go go to the toilet, grab yourself a beer or what have you, come back, and then just, the action hasn't changed. But here, literally, the moment you leave to go somewhere, all of a sudden the commentator goes, "Oh!" And then you're like, Jesus, what is happening here?
That's absolutely 100% true. I think there's been a few races where I've been like, now don't quote me on this. I think that this is what the score will be. And then you're like, holy crap! Something like that.
Exactly, Nick, just as you said. I echo your words.
My words. Now, Tommy, I think I smell a hint of rum on your breath.
Oh no, we've all been. I mean, we're right at the Gosling's bar right here. So, I mean,
The bra?
the bar.
Is that like shore cream?
Yeah, shore cream.
And a full credit to our shore cream.
We've been at the bar here at Gosling's, and I tell you, we're enjoying ourselves. You know, tomorrow we're going to have a fight in our hands. And I was here at San Francisco with this great gentleman who's just behind me here, my manager, Aaron Torson, who's quite a healthy individual. You know, chased by when women want to be with him, men want to be him. But anyway, Nick, we won't.
He did offer to chuck us his underwear earlier too, so I'm not quite certain
We won't
about
make
it.
this all about Aaron, but to tell you the truth, I think we've got a good fight on our hands, and you know, Oracle love being in this situation. You know, we've seen historically when the pressure's on the New Zealanders, Oracle seem to do a little bit better, and now we've got a situation where all you have to do is go out there, win the race, next race, win that race again. Aaron's.
Your manager's shouting to you, like we're staring down the barrel of a gun. That's meant to be your next line.
Staring down the barrel of a gun, but look, I mean, Nick, if I'm going to be honest here, you got to go out there, win the next race. After that, win the next race, and that's as simple as you've got to call it. And I have to
Hang on a minute, that sounds really familiar. I think your brother just said that in the press conference. In fact, I'm going to insert those words right now.
All we need to focus on is one race, and one race at a time. We need to really try and take the lessons and the mistakes from today. We need to grow stronger, and then we need to come out firing tomorrow and execute and win a race. That's it. You've only got so much time and energy, and I can tell you that's all we will be thinking about.
Hang on, for ourselves, I mean.
For ourselves, we just feel like we're easing into it. You know, we're getting better as we go. You know, and not many people have actually done a pre-start in a AC50. You know, with a competitive boat on the other side. So, you know, every opportunity we get to throw at these guys, you know, we learn from it and we improve from it. And it felt like today that really showed.
Yeah.
That's not your brother.
Full credit to the shore team as well. And
the shore cream.
Shore cream.
And a full credit to our shore cream.
Full credit to the shore team. I mean for ourselves. I mean, can I just say as well, we're excited to get out there. But no, look, Nick, who do you think do you reckon one team's got more of an advantage than the other?
Oh, that's so hard to call. I think maybe with you barracking for them, there could be an advantage to Oracle right now.
Appreciate it, Nick, but no, that's what we've got right now. In that literally each race, it's not you get into a series and you have someone that's down a few points like Oracle is, and you're like, all right, well let's fire the champagne in. Like I actually do remember Emirates doing last year of having the plane ready to bring home the cup, and then the Americans coming back.
Yeah. I think I've heard that somewhere before. Insert quote from his brother.
Did that happen this Arvo? We haven't watched the press release. We've spent on the tins all Arvo.
You obviously have not watched the press conference, but it's almost like I've interviewed the real thing. So thank you very much, Tommy.
Honestly, fair income, we have not.
Seems familiar. Oh, gold. Love it. And it's so good, as always, to be catching up with you, Tommy. I mean, how much are you missing not being there? I'm a bit ropeable.
Yeah, no, I'm filthy. I just keep seeing all the, New Zealand really have an awesome life over there. From the fishing to the great little wing surfing scene there, and hunting, and then you've got just really good people. I've just got some really, some of my best mates are Kiwis, and I'm just dying to see them. They're just, just sending me pictures of them out there, just having the best time. But yeah, looking back on that interview, I think my drink spiked or something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
James gave me a stern warning when I went to Bermuda. He's like, "Do not get drinking with the Gosling brothers." And I was like, anyway, the next day I sort of heard those words echo through my head
several times at full volume. Yeah, I find it interesting too because a lot of people don't realise that match racing, and I know we've heard it today in the press conference and back then in Bermuda in the press conference, and at every single stage of the competition, it's literally just about the next race. And even, literally, what do I have to do tomorrow? Win a race. What do I have to do the next day? Win a race. Even New York Yacht Club, what do I have to do? Get my boat ready so I can go win a race. It's all one focus, and it was cool there too. We spoke about how much we love it and how good it is to be out there watching it and how exciting it is and what a great part of our sport it is. So I think that's really important too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, I won't hold up someone who got Australia Day honours for any more of their amazing time. I was hoping that our adventurer in New Zealand might actually be able to jump on and introduce herself, but it looks like we're just going to have to run our introduction with her, without her. But that's okay because she'll be live with us in the morning and she'll be live with us every single day going through the Cup. Tomorrow, Tommy, to follow you up, we have John Bertrand will be with us after the racing to talk about the Cup, development in the Cup, psychology in the Cup, and the improvements that we've seen made. So that'll be a nice little behind the scenes interview there. So we might just go for a little tour of the village, seeing as we're... Sorry, Tommy, what are you saying?
Sorry, Nick, I was going to say it's going to obviously be a tough ask for John to come and have that technical knowledge and what have you that I have. It's going to be a bit of a tough ask.
It's going to be really tough to follow you, Tommy. I mean, really.
Oh, geez, he's the man, John. And John Bertram AM, or is it got OAM?
I think he's OAM now.
I'll be tuning in for sure.
It should be really, really good. So I thought, given that that we might have a little look at the village and our amazing sailor girl in New Zealand, our Scottish sailor girl, Tor Tomlinson, took us for a tour earlier today, and looking forward to crossing to her live in the village tomorrow. Let's have a little look.
Hi everyone, Tor here reporting for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. I am on the ground in Auckland, just heading down to the race village to show you around. Here we are, heading into the village next to the quay base. Just signing into the QR codes in the race village to make sure we keep coronavirus away from this awesome place. Here we are. Here's the Kiwi base. An AC50 up on the wall there, on the wall. 9. Lots of people getting some pictures here. There's the America's Cup volunteers in the yellow t-shirts. There's the skyline. Just heading across the bridge to the main part of the race village and the big stage. Oh, Emirates Team New Zealand have just hit the dock by the looks of it. Not actually hit it, they've just come in to the dock. There's a guy up the rig. Looks like they've been out practicing. I think they're out with Ineos. Here is Emirates Team New Zealand. A little zoom in there for you. They've just been out practicing today with their new foils, I think. Nice bit of breeze today. We're just coming into the race village here. We've got the big stage up here on the left. It's going to be very exciting tomorrow. It's actually quite quiet at the minute. I think it's because the weather's not that great. But yeah, it's all going to be happening tomorrow for the round robin 3 of the Prada Cup. Here's the mum bar, where I expect there to be a few bottles popped over the next few weeks. The big stage. Good little atmosphere down here. And there's a bit of breeze. Let's hope this stays for tomorrow. We're just walking to the viaduct now. There's the official store. Got all the teams on the side there. It's quite cool. And then we've got some history of all the other cups and the history of the America's Cup in general. There's also the AC75 simulator just up behind us. Woohoo! So exciting. Here we are in the official store. Pretty cool. Nice setup. We've got all the Prada stuff. Prada! Ineos Team UK, some Belstaff gear. American Magic. And Emirates Team New Zealand. And back out we go.
And that is the village in Auckland. So great to be getting some on-the-ground reports, given that we're both chomping at the bit. Oh my goodness, Tommy, what will we do when it's final time? We might die.
Yeah, I know.
Oh gosh.
To get to New Zealand.
Pardon, what did you say, Tommy?
I was just thinking of how am I going to get to New Zealand, whether I've got to, try and deliver a boat over there or like quickly get a pilot's license or try and figure out some way to get in there because it's such a
such a roadblock, isn't it?
New Zealand. Well, and the difference is too, when you arrive in New Zealand, you can be in an Uber, and the Uber driver knows who Ben Ainsley is, who the teams are. Everyone's like so passionate, about it's either the All Blacks or Emirates Team, and that's really cool to go to a place where the whole country's right into it, like you're in San Fran. There was a lot of American supporters there, but there wasn't. I wouldn't say a broader population of the public really knew what was going on where, every man and his dog knows what's happening with the America's Cup. It's on the front page of the newspaper. It's on the back page of the newspaper. And that's really, really exciting that you go to a town and it's just like, this is the biggest thing happening in the country right now.
Which is amazing. I mean, I've been talking to friends in the UK and it didn't make the papers on the weekend that they were leading the Challenger Series. And then we wonder why we can't get more teams and more entrants. And that's why I really encourage everybody that's watching the America's Cup for this edition, if you have the opportunity to tell somebody how great it is, tell them, because that's what's going to make our sport amazing and spread it to more people and make more people interested in it. I mean, the reason why the F1 is so popular is because everyone talks about it. And whether you're a car enthusiast or not, whether you're an environmentalist or not, it's pretty exciting racing. So I think we all need to be better ambassadors and advocates for our sport, and that's why it's so funny on what we've spoken about today, Tommy, and what we saw in that interview too about just how exciting the racing is when it comes down to the wire, and they're pushing the edge of development. It's crazy, and so for people like us who can't be there, and we would be there, like we'd almost cut off a limb to be there, not really, but it's getting close. I think it's really important that we all enjoy the rest of the Cup, no matter what happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Nick.
Awesome. Well, I might let you go, sir, given that you're so busy and so wanted, and I know that there'll be other people looking to get you onto interviews this evening, seeing as you are the winner of the meat raffle at the RSL this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nick, and cheers to everyone at home. Enjoy the Australia Day weekend.
Indeed. Enjoy Australia Day. Enjoy the America's Cup, and I'll be back with you tomorrow with a preview show and then our debrief show with John Bertrand. See you all soon. Thanks, Tommy. See you guys.